Hello everybody, joining me now is a familiar face within the GEOINT community and a longtime friend of the foundation. I'm speaking of course of Dave Peters from AGI. Dave, it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Diane.
How are you?
Very good. Happy to be here. Happy that GEOINT's in the DC area. We're looking for a very exciting week.
Great. For those who may not already know a lot about AGI, can you remind us who AGI is and what you guys do?
Sure. AGI is a COT software company, commercial off-the-shelf software. We've been making software for over 25 years for both analysts and software developers. At the core, what our software provides is physics-based modeling of ISR collection systems so that our users can analyze the collection capabilities of those systems. So whether you're talking about sensors on satellites or aircraft or any kind of sensor moving around quickly trying to see or hear or sense, we can model all of that and provide that analytical capability out of the box. No development effort needed. To get that capability, we can provide it right away. We deliver our capabilities really in two ways. One is desktop software. STK is well known in the community, and we're really proud of the usage of STK at NGA and throughout the intelligence community. But we also provide software development kits for software developers, so .NET and Java libraries that allow those software developers to build web services quickly with the kind of analytics that I was just describing. And that's really key, especially in this community, as Director Cardillo has just kicked off the initiative for GEOINT services. Our development environment is perfect for any developers who are looking to build the right kinds of things to support that GEOINT services initiative. So we're pretty happy about all that capability. And you see a lot of that in use throughout the floor of the show here and throughout the community, and we're always really proud of that. Another thing that's new for us is Cesium. So Cesium is an open source globe in a browser that requires no plugin, and it's been adopted by this community and a lot of others over the last couple of years now.
Really great stuff. Now this open source software, it sounds like something new for AGI. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
It absolutely is new for us, and like I said, it's very exciting. The whole idea is to take the rich visualization, time dynamic visualization capability that people know from STK, and we challenged our developers to put it into a browser. No plugin, no nothing. We want to be able to go to a website and get this rich environment. So that's what Cesium is. It's a 3D globe in a browser, no plugin required. It can also provide 2D and 2.5D, which might sound weird to folks, but come over to the booth and we'll show you what that means. It's a great view of the entire Earth, but kind of tilted, and you can see what's going on above the surface of the Earth at the same time. And like I said, time dynamic, that's a key part of it. So the globe was built with the notion of time as kind of a first-class citizen. There's a lot of globes out there that do great with latitude, longitude, and altitude data, but not time dynamic data. So since we're modeling things that move rapidly, satellites and aircraft, that was a key requirement for us. But without moving beyond the collection assets, Cesium can help you visualize any other time dynamic data, whether it's demographics or imagery changing over time, really anything that has a latitude, longitude, altitude, and a time, which really is all of GEOINT data. It's all right there to be put into Cesium. So we're really excited about Cesium. We have, like I said, a lot of users of Cesium. We've got, we also provide some value-added capabilities on top, which I want to make sure I mention, because you get a nice globe, you got the right imagery streaming in, being able to drape that imagery over terrain is pretty important. So some of the value-add capability we provide is a terrain server. So it's optimized streaming terrain, again, across the web into your browser. You want to make sure it's fast and optimized, but has all the fidelity of the data. So that's what our terrain server does. We're also streaming imagery as well as streaming buildings. So a lot of neat value add. And then customers are using that, like I said. So Riverside Research will be here to show. They are already using our development environment to build analytical web services for NGA, and they are in the process of adding Cesium so that they'll have that visualization in a browser for their end users. Digital Globe as well, very excited to be working with Digital Globe as they add 3D to their GEGD program. Right now, Digital Globe provides unclassified commercial imagery, the freshest available to their users, and they're going to be adding 3D so that the users can take that imagery, drape it over terrain, fly through it, all in a browser. So we're very excited about that. And then we have a lot of examples of Cesium in action in our booth. So that the NGA has been releasing unclassified data for disaster relief, things like the Ebola crisis in Kenya, the Kenya disaster. So we have a lot of that Kenya data coming into an example in our booth in Cesium, so you can see what Cesium's able to do with that data. And then since we've got those analytical capabilities that we provide, we had our developers build a little bit of that in as well. So when's the next commercial satellite pass overhead? Or if you're sending a rescuer out with GPS, how good is their GPS accuracy? Those kinds of analysis on top of it. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow, you guys have been busy.
We have been. We have some great developers, some of whom will be at the show. Patrick Cozy, who's kind of the father of Cesium, will be in our booth for a while this week. So he'll tell you his team's been very busy.
So what else can people look for in AGI's exhibit space, booth 6127, by the way?
Thank you for mentioning that. 6127. Well, STK 11 is coming out the end of the summer. So it's a great new enhancement to STK. It's a release that has hundreds of new functions and features. Some of the key ones relate to our aircraft modeling. We've got a whole new aircraft mission modeling capability that we're renaming Aviator in this release. And it provides weather-based effects on your routes. So you're flying a route and there's some winds that you know about, it'll affect that route. You can put in pre-planned maneuvers. It's all sorts of neat stuff for people modeling aircraft-based sensors and aircraft systems in general. We also have what we're calling volumetric coverage. So in STK, you could always say, over this region or this country, how well do my sensors see that whole entire region? And are there pieces that are missing, or do we get multiple collects in over a day? But that was always 2D, so now we have that in a 3D space. So think like air traffic control or radar systems looking at the entire radar volume. Where do you fly in and out of that volume? So volumetric coverage is pretty exciting. And 64-bit. Everybody's been asking us, when is SDK going to be 64-bit? Well, SDK 11, that release, that will be 64-bit, which means you can take advantage of the memory on your computer system, which means the big analytical tasks you're running will complete a whole lot faster. So we're pretty excited about that.
Wow. Well,
And one other thing real quick, we've got our Commercial Space Operations Center. That is activity-based intelligence in space. But it's a commercial effort where we're helping people understand where everything is in space. And with that knowledge, you know immediately when things change. So ABI in space. And I have to mention this because of the weather, ice cream. We will have our ice cream all throughout the show again. So as the temperatures are hitting 100 degrees this week, please feel free to stop by and check out the software and grab some ice cream as well.
Well, Dave, it's always good to hear from you, and it's always great to take part in AGI's ice cream. So thanks again for taking the time to sit down with us today. I've been speaking with Dave Peters, Director of Business Development for the Intelligence Community at AGI. More Trajectory on Location coming up.